Hello friends, and welcome back to another episode of Bailey Cooks. Now you may have missed me last week. I did take the week off, but that's only because I was filling my face with chocolate and cheese. Now I cannot quite express just how excited I am to do this week's national dish. We are going to be making a vegetarian version of Ragu Alla Bolognese, which for those of you who don't know is Ragu Bolognese. This is Italy's national dish. Italian food is probably my favorite food in the whole world. I just love it. I just can't get enough. Now, while I don't have any Italian ancestry, I do feel like there is a big, delicious ball of pasta lodged in my heart. First, I'm gonna be walking you through the sauce, and then we're gonna be moving on to our fresh pasta. I've just started with a big wedge of butter in the pan. You know me, I love my butter. And to that, we're gonna add about 2 tablespoons of oil. When your recipe starts with both butter and oil, you know it's gonna be good. Next, I'm taking 1 big clove of garlic. Instead of chopping it up to put it in there, I wanna flavor that butter and that oil under my knife until it's broken apart, sort of like this. Next, we're gonna take 2 sticks of celery and 2 carrots. You're kind of making like a mirepoix almost. We're gonna really finely chop these. It's called a brunoise, darling, a brunoise. That's where you cut things into teeny tiny little squares. After I add the celery and the carrots, I'm gonna add 1 whole onion that's chopped just as fine. Now I want you to see how cute and tiny that little piece of carrot is. God, it's so cute. I just wanna squeeze it. It's even cuter than Girl from Bird Box. Mallory? I'm gonna use 2 of these sausages. This is the sun-dried tomato tofurkey. And these are really, really good. Honestly, I can't hate on these guys for anything. We're gonna chop them up really finely and add them into that mix. Pieces about like this should probably be okay. We're gonna let that simmer about 10 minutes until it gets a nice color on everything. And then after that, we're gonna add our veggie ground beef. This is just the Eve's ground round. In the meantime, I'm gonna get my ingredients ready for pasta. Now making pasta, like fresh pasta, seems really intimidating, but it's actually super, super easy. So if anybody invites you over and they're like, I made fresh pasta, so I'm better than you, they're lying. They're liars. It's really worth the effort. You can taste the difference like tenfold. 00 flour. This is pretty important. It's gonna give you like a different gluten level, so it's gonna give you like that nice soft texture. Oil. I've also got milk. I've got organic goat's milk because, like, you know, I'm fly and fancy. And the other crucial ingredient, the eggs. My sausage, carrot, celery, and onion is looking really, really nice. I'm gonna give that a little bit of a season just because I like to season all the way through. It's not quite ready yet, so in the meantime, we're gonna start prepping our pasta dough. What I've made here is a flour well. I've taken 1 3/4 cup of the 00 flour, and we're gonna get 1 full egg and 6 egg yolks in there.
Oh my God, we lost a yolk. He's in there. I don't know if we can get him back.
I've added 1 tablespoon of milk and 1½ teaspoons of oil. And we're just gonna dig right in there and start stirring with our hands, mixing and forming until everything becomes a cohesive ball of dough. And if a little bit escapes, just bring it right back in. That's fine. How exciting, it's all coming together. I'm gonna put it on hold for a hot minute and I'm gonna put in my ground beef. What do you call a cow with no legs? Ground beef. All the Nonas I've met really dig that joke. We're gonna give that a stir and we're gonna get everything nice and crispy. Key in making pasta, and you will hear this universally, is that you have to knead it constantly. I can't stop kneading you. And then when you think you've rolled it enough, roll it for 15 minutes more. The longer you roll it, the more tender your pasta is going to be. You can rotate this off to a cooking partner, a friend. You can take turns. Great at parties. Everybody gets a roll. I'm gonna continue rolling this for about 10 minutes. I'm gonna wrap it up in plastic wrap and leave it in a warm spot for at least a ½ an hour. Is your dough dead? No, it's just resting. We're gonna open up our tin of tomato paste. I have one of those new safe open can openers. Did anyone else see that episode of Arthur where he goes to the dump, trips and slices his knee clean open with that errant can lid? It's terrifying. From that, we're gonna add 2 big tablespoons. Change of plans, I decided I'm adding the whole thing. Roll with it, guys. You can't handle a change of plans, don't come to the internet. It's looking and smelling so awesome. We're just gonna deglaze that with some red wine. But first, a taste. Oh, it's a good one. So red wine and tomato sauce, you can't really add too much. I'm going with like roughly 3/4 cup. If you want to add the whole bottle, Be my guest. Sweet liquor eases the pain. Now I'm gonna add a teeny pinch of nutmeg. You don't wanna actually be able to taste it. It's like cinnamon in a curry. Like you want that nice spice and flavor in there, but you don't want someone to be like, whoa, nutmeg! Throughout that cooking process, we wanna add about a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons at a time of whole milk for a total of roughly 3/4 of a cup. And doing that every so often is what's gonna make the sauce really rich and velvety. So I've got everything ready now to roll my actual pasta out. If you don't have a pasta machine, you can just roll it by hand. It'll take a while, but you can get there. Want it in a slightly rectangular shape. This is kind of a 2-person job, but once you get the hang of it, you can totally do it yourself. Are you kidding? So don't roll your pasta too quickly. If you're getting little waves in the middle, that means you're going too fast. So just slow down. Each time we roll it through, we're gonna go 1 notch down. If it's not quite even how you'd like it, roll it through the same setting twice. Fresh pasta, you can't really do al dente because that just means like raw flour. But a tiny bit of chew, honestly, I think is fine. It's like those people that warn against eating raw cookie dough. Like, get out of here. So at this point, you can probably put on your pot of water. An Italian man once told me, your water should be like the sea. So like, really, who's gonna argue with that? Do you like my new scarf? I made it myself. I've got my pasta sheets scattered all around me pretty haphazardly. That's about what we want in terms of length. Thickness, I went to the number 2 setting rather than the number 1 setting because I wouldn't mind these a little bit thicker to stand up to that really hearty sauce. It doesn't take long for fresh pasta to cook, 2 to maybe 3 or 4 minutes. This is about how much pasta it's gonna be making. Now keep in mind this is going to expand. I'm gonna very gently roll this into 2 little knots so we can just place those in our boiling water. I strained out my pasta after a couple minutes. Very nice and steamy. It's like being in a gorgeous Italian sauna. So now I'm going to put this on a plate. I'm gonna pop my sauce on top. I'm also chopping a bit of flat leaf parsley just to sprinkle over the top. And there she is, folks, a big, hot, steaming plate of beautiful. This is an awesome comfort food, honestly. I was so excited to make this, and it really came out exactly how I wanted it to. Thank you guys so much for tuning into another episode of Bailey Cooks. Subscribe just down below, and I'll see you real soon. I hope you guys enjoyed the... There's parsley on my head. Yep, that's parsley. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I will see you back here next week. Cheers.